Crocs, Birkenstocks, hydro flasks, shell bracelets, instant cameras, we have lost the plot. Hey everyone, I go by VLauren on social media, but you can call me Victoria, and welcome to my first installment of my new series entitled Still Good. Still photos are still good. When this app launched in 2012, I was there with This was my app. VSCO, Visual Supply Company Cam, launched in 2012 as an app designed to capture and edit photos using preset filters and editing tools. I was a VSCO girl, even though my friends and I debated the pronunciation of that name. I was an OG user, and at that time, it wasn't about Crocs nor Birkenstocks, not cosmetics, but aesthetics. An appreciation of beautiful things, sensitive to art and beauty, showing good taste. It's synonymous with ornamental, artistic, pleasing, pretty. Reflecting upon those days as a nascent photographer with only an iPhone 5 as my instrument for seeing the world, aesthetics, a sensitivity to beauty and taste, became a pillar of my photographic philosophy. I was simply a hashtag iPhone photographer at that time, but it was truly a foundational and transformative period for me developing my eye as a photographer. Instagram filters were classic but tragic in comparison to the looks of the VSCO filters. You had to go to other apps to enhance the aesthetic of your photos, and VSCO was the app. Now, at that time, photography wasn't my primary focus, pun intended, but it definitely was a starting point for me. It was an app that allowed me to see the ordinary and mundane and find beauty in it. Everything could be a photo, and it could look beautiful. That's what the app gave me before I really dove into the world of photography. But it's been years since I've used this app, and I figured there is no better time to test this out than springtime. This season for aesthetics.
I messed that one up. I did. I messed that one up because
So I figured, why not go out and photograph the blooming of the season and use VSCO? Can I enjoy the app in 2025 in the same way that I did in 2012? So I'm going to be shooting digital film and using my iPhone. Now, will my film shots be ready by the time this airs? Probably not. But I'll probably have the most fun shooting film anyway. So let's see if this app will restore the joy of capturing the mundane.
all right. I'll walk you back to the car. Okay. Well, so the thing is, all you have to do. Yeah.
It did not. It did not restore the joy of capturing the mundane. But actually, I enjoyed taking photos with my actual cameras more than my iPhone. I think over the years, transitioning from being, I guess, like a hashtag iPhone photographer to a hashtag photographer, just phone not attached, has made me less excited about taking pictures with my iPhone. Like, I really if I have to take a photo on my iPhone, I'd rather not take a picture at all. which am I really a true photographer? Because does the device really matter? But I don't know, it's something about taking a photo with a camera. You just don't get that same experience that you do with an iPhone. I love the feel. That's why I think I enjoy, even if I don't get my film developed right away, this is what I'm enjoying about film photography. It's just the feeling of taking a photo. And I would think using the app, it doesn't really do it for me either. I used to be a big fan of editing photos through the app, and I will say that's kind of sort of fun. However, the app has definitely lost its charm and pizzazz for me because so much of the app is catered to subscribers. But that's to be expected given the subscription model of our current digital age. But it sucks because some of the presets that were free in the app, you now have to pay for. And I personally don't think it's worth it. And at one point I even began using the app, but I was uploading photos that I had edited in Lightroom, and I may have added like a little preset or just minimal edits through the app onto it, but it still doesn't have the same feel as it did when I was first starting out using it. I still think it's cool though that you can explore how other people are using the app, but it doesn't have that same appeal for me anymore. And maybe because so much of it requires you to be a subscriber. Here's the thing about it though. I was once subscribed to the app and its features were enjoyable then. And it was also enjoyable when it came out and I was using its features for free. Here's my mentality. I already pay for Lightroom because it's an investment for me as a photographer that will help me to make more money. Photography as a hobby is already expensive, and to have an app that I have to pay for presets, for community, and I can still engage with the community freely. I don't know. I just don't see the inherent value in that. I don't know. That's just me. But if you are subscribed to VSCO, let me know. What am I missing out on? Because I don't really think I've really missed anything over the years. I moved on from apps like VSCO, Snapseed, PicLab, Aviary. Y'all remember that one? And apps like those to then move on to a Lightroom subscription. That transition for me represented a true test for growth as a photographer, because it really meant learning the photographic fundamentals to construct your own presets. And that was 6 years ago, give or take. And this is my 8th year seriously pursuing photography. So when I saw this trend of being a VSCO girl, I said, the plot has been lost. Somewhere the plot has been lost. Because how are we about Crocs, Birkenstocks, Hydro Flasks, shell bracelets, and instant cameras when the app has a camera? Make that make sense. I got this description from Wikipedia. Named after the VSCO photography app, VSCO girls are described by some as dressing and acting in a way that is nearly indistinguishable from one another. That description is crazy to me because this kind of goes against the origination of the app, which was to foster creativity and authenticity as an artist. It's a platform whose artistic communal emphasis was literally antithetical to the typical social media business model. And that's what made it appealing. If you shared a photo, it was like nailing a frame to a wall, and your self-esteem wasn't tarnished because you only got 5 likes. It was a space for artists to connect with other artists and their work in a way that other social media apps didn't allow. And that's what made it enjoyable. I can photograph the mundane in such a beautiful way. It really gave me a true sense or value of the importance of aesthetics when it comes to photography. And so that really informed a lot of the photography that I do today and how I want it to be pleasing. So that's the thing that this app gave me when it first came out in 2012. But I won't be using it. I will try to use it. I will try to use it and try to become more creative. But this is honestly the reason why I created this series that allows me to pursue photography as not just a profession, but also as a hobby, and really enjoy the hobby side of photography that challenges me to be a more creative and dynamic photographer, which I believe that it will ultimately spill over into my more professional work. Nevertheless, still photos are still good.